So again, you would love to see Troy be able to pull that out. Frenzies all over the board here for Troy. Interesting pick here. Maybe that is a bind thing. Maybe it is something Troy is just wanting to try. Getting here, opening pick here for Garrett. Now continuing to take that space. Lucky Ducky falling back, not going to challenge Garrett or Squiddy here. Squiddy dangerously low here with that 31 HP. And bored. Sitting here with the molly out on this smoke, waiting for some footsteps. Now Omen for a moment here, not going to have an opportunity to push up. Now, almost getting him with a grenade there. Was Lapper. Board able to get a pick there. And Garrett following up with one of his own. Troy now with a big man count advantage. Peeking around this corner, 31 HP to his name, Squiddy. Slapper going to be taken out by Squiddy, and Board not able to capitalize there, but Koiva going to trade him off and give Troy that first round win. As we had said, you know, Troy loves to get on that pistol round, walk up on the attack, and I mean, nobody expects that, to be fair. Getting pushed up like that on attack, and again, I mean, despite the fact that, again, it's not some type of strategy that we've never seen before, but in the mind of an attacker, typically you don't assume that the defenders are just going to walk at you. And now Troy going to get to have that money to get some rifles up on the board. SMGs as well. Say rifle running 3 bulldogs here. Gary going to be playing that Spectre. Now Squiddy here is staying in showers. Kind of just being patient here, waiting for somebody to make a move. GVSU definitely looking like they're a bit worried of that walk-up once again, especially knowing Troy has the gun advantage. Still relatively quiet here. That smoke losing gas. So, can expect a push here soon by GVSU. Spectre going to hold his ground, though. Able to get one. Koiva following up with another one almost simultaneously here.
One enemy remaining.
Garrett able to get one there with his Spectre in hand. And 1v5 here.
30 seconds left.
For Ducky. And a really simple, quick round here, all things considered, for Troy. We had seen here basically instantly that Troy had got up 2-5 man count after Koiva and Spectre were sitting there
10 seconds
watching
left.
that walk-in. Coming here from heaven was Ducky. Board, though, able to flick over there and finish off the kill. Ducky not hitting his shots, unfortunately, there for him. And Troy now going to have a 2-0 lead here on GVSU. And again, pretty simple here, all things considered, for Troy. It's not seeming like they've had to do anything crazy here to win some rounds. Kind of just playing a simple bind, I would say. And I say simple bind as if they've played it before, but I mean, they're not doing too much. Of course, that pistol round walking up, a little unorthodox there. But other than that, playing their positions effectively. So you can definitely see that paying off here. Duck Slapper wanting to get a little bit aggressive on his own. That Sky Dog running up, trying to catch and see if anybody was playing up there. Not going to find anything, though.
Launching smoke.
Board here, about to get in the line of sight there for Slapper, though not actually going to happen there. For a moment, it seemed so. Squiddy here playing in this corridor here, watching with Board. Looking like the entirety of the GVSU squad going to want to push here sooner or later unless they decide to rotate. We see here Garrett going to pick up a kill there, switching just a little too late with the op in hand, getting Troy that man count advantage. GVSU 53 seconds on the board, still not making any serious moves. Knowing they can't walk over there where Garrett is in Bath, because that operator will be what they find. Squiddy here, jump peeking, trying to see if he can get anybody to bite. Turtle there, standing strong. See, Koiva here
30 seconds left.
holding down B side by himself. Able to get a pick there. And cheat. Turtle able to get 2 there. Board. Squiddy dying. Potentially a collateral there, and that's a bit fortunate for him. Now putting GVSU back in this, though with 7 seconds left, not really anything they can do. And opting to save their rifles is GVSU. Part of that collateral there, Troy most certainly did have everything in control. And I will say the collateral was a little bit too late, or like you say, too little, too late. 2 picks coming on there for Turtle. And I say cheat Turtle. I read his tag, but his name's Turtle. Either which way, though. Able to pick up 2 there, but with 10 seconds left on the board, not really anything you can do in terms of playmaking with that. They weren't really in a position where they can just rush site and get the plant down. And it didn't even seem like that was in the cards for him in the first place. They didn't even make an attempt at it. Board here playing Bath facing Turtle, Kuromi. That bird coming out from Sky. Squiddy here able to get a pick of his own. Peeking around that corner. Smokes coming in for Troy. Now it's a bit more of that settle in kind of play off of what GVSU decides to do here. Getting walked up on here in the Bath is Board, but watching it with that operator Garrett, so not really any opportunities there to take free space by GVSU, and not looking like they're going to attempt it either way. Looking to potentially rotate to that B side where they are going to find Spectre Koiva waiting for them. Both tucked here, not playing aggressive positions. Again, playing off of GVSU, waiting for them.
30 seconds left.
In heaven is Turtle. Turtle going to take Squiddy out as he walks back, trying to rotate onto site. Spectre getting 2, 1 through the smoke. Kuromi getting Spectre there, Board, and Koiva following up with 2 of their own there. And a way to hold it down, Troy. GVSU definitely looking to show a bit more aggression, a bit more explosiveness to try to take that B side in those dwindling seconds. But Troy matching that aggression, not allowing them to do so. And now Troy going to settle in with a 4-0 lead here. And only 1-0 on the board here. That will be Sky's Turtle there. And, I mean, again, Troy's playing a very, very simple game so far. No hassle here.
Bring them down.
Though many will say simple gameplay is the hardest gameplay to play. Squiddy here tucking in this A cubby. Waiting for somebody to cross his path, potentially get that opening pick once more for Troy.
Portal closed.
Board watching Bath for any potential walk up, but nobody biting. Squiddy able to get 1 and not trading him. Toast. For a moment there, it looked like Toast was looking at the ground potentially, not sure what he was doing, but going to be traded either way. Or going to be picked off as well, not traded. And Squiddy getting those opening 2 picks, now regrouping with Board here. Looping around this backside, trying to catch GVSU off guard, certainly. GVSU now going to flood this A side and get that plant down. But Troy doing the same, flooding for the retake.
Spike planted.
Board here, getting one of his own as Lucky Ducky tries to cross over.
Here.
And trapped here is Slapper.
1 enemy remaining.
Kuromi able to get 1 there. Or get taken out by Board. Board taking out Slapper as well. And, I mean, that's a bit funny there. Them trapped in the little room on B side. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I had expected them to take a bit of a different positioning. That's why I was kind of assuming, well, I was assuming that they were going to move this one. My commentary, I was a bit caught off guard that they just took up stations there, awaited Troy flooding them, and from that position, there's no way to really win it. Coming in with a timeout here is GVSU, so of course, they probably have a bit of the same thought process, exactly what they need to do differently, going down 5 rounds pretty easily here for Troy so far. So definitely something not clicking for them either. This is not their map or what it may be, but they need to figure something out here to stop this momentum Troy has going, because again, if you're going to let Troy pile on and potentially end this attacking round with, you know, only 2 rounds to your name, potentially 1, 3, either which way, you don't want that to happen. So again, they're going to have to change something to figure it out. Again, Troy here playing a pretty simple game. We see Board here with 6 and 2. Koiva, no deaths to his name. Garrett neither. 5-0, 4-0. Sticking to that op is going to be Garrett here. So definitely an exciting prospect here to see him play this B long. And despite the fact that don't appear any GVSU players will take up station there, still it would be nice to see a rotation potentially and Garrett able to capitalize off of that operator pick once more. But again, at this point, Troy going up 5 rounds consecutively, you can almost afford an operator for everybody if you really wanted to and not even have a second thought. Though, speaking of that, Squiddy and Board going to be the 2 to meet GVSU here on this A side. Squiddy able to get 1, traded off by Lucky Ducky though. Garrett now watching this bath with that operator. Spectre and Koiva going to be walking through from spawn. GVSU taking up much better positions here on this defense. Ult coming out for Sky. So something that they are going to have to account for. Lucky Ducky going to take Garrett there. Koiva following up with a pick though. Not able to get it done there. Koiva Turtle getting that one. Spectre 1 there. Spike nearly going off. Shorty out. And Noah Toast going to have a shorty of his own. Taking out Spectre. And for a moment there, I thought the spike was going to go off in full, and Noah still getting taken out there. But what we had seen there was a good initial take by GVSU, and again, they had played much better positions post-plant. Of course, they had a little more time to pick those positions, and that initial take off of Board and Squiddy was excellent. Of course, Squiddy able to get 1 there, but Board getting taken out early there. GVSU flooding in a coordinated manner, bringing the success that they had just had. Now going up. Smoke's coming out here for Board. Squiddy going to opt to play in it. Turtle playing on top of that box. Squiddy aware of it, but not going to commit to watching it. Board watching this bath with the molly in hand, going to pop it. Turtle there, able to kill Squiddy. Now Board all by himself on site, getting surrounded. Going to try to come out here with at least a pick of his own. And with the smokes out, Board not able to do anything. Garrett in heaven here with the op, able to get 1 back. Koiva going down. Spectre going to trade him off though. And now it is up to Spectre and Garrett to perform this retake against 3 GVSU players here. Prowler on the board there for Spectre. Walking around, getting 1.
Last player standing.
Garrett going to follow up with another of his own, running down from that heaven with the classic in his hands. Kuromi going to play behind those boxes. And going to peek around the corner, take Garrett out as he is defusing. And going to cut Troy's lead a little bit. 5-2 now. Again, same take there by GVSU. Squiddy Board, only 2 occupying that A side. And while it was not the same as though Board was not taken out first, Squiddy was the one taken out first there. They had done a much better job of being a little more coordinated and taking up their positions quicker. We saw their Turtle getting on those boxes nearly immediately. Squiddy aware of it, but not quite committing to peeking it. So that paying off for GVSU and looking again to do the same here. Garrett, though, going to be playing tucked here with the Bucky. Kuromi wanting to walk here on Garrett, but not committing to it. Noah going to get a pick of his own. Garrett taking out Kuromi there. Looking to get aggressive here. Garrett going to take Lucky out with the dash. Now clearing out this A side bats for Troy. Now they can focus on that B side where GVSU is rotating. Turtle there going to get picked by Koiva. Another one for Koiva. Spectre going to clean it up. And a great job by Troy to match the rotation and get on this B side quickly. That aggression there by Garrett was most certainly needed, and it set in motion the series of events that would follow. Garrett there playing that Bucky, Kuromi walking in on it, being patient, Garrett. Seeing if more GVSU players would walk in, getting his pick there, getting aggressive there on Ducky, paying off. Now Troy, at that point, was no longer in that man count disadvantage, and they had immediately rotated to that B side, anticipating GVSU doing so as well, and going to pick up that 6th win here on this defense. Garrett board here going to be playing a duo on this bats. Kuromi, Ducky doing the same as last round.
Smoke's down.
Koiva and Spectre looking to walk down that B's long, and Koiva going to pick up a kill off of it.
Toxin screen down.
Board able to catch Noah Toast,
Spike down
not
A.
looking, and now Board has found the spike here to watch. Slapper next to Koiva here, and spraying and praying here was Koiva. Not able to get a kill there. Slapper getting it there. Squiddy able to get picked there on Turtle. Lucky Ducky taking Garrett out though. Spectre here getting aggressive there on the 2 GVSU players playing around the corner. Not going to allow them to come and pick up this spike for free. Getting aggressive there was Spectre. Ducky picking up the pick. 2-2 man count here.
Smoke.
Board going to drop the smoke. Molly followed up. Squiddy and Board not going to really play sight so much. Going to kind of play a little pushed up. Saying that though, Board opting to go back and play center A side.
10
Squiddy
seconds left.
tucking on this link here. And that smoke doing wonders here for Troy. GVSU was not confident in pushing through that smoke at all. The molly as well. And that just goes to show that utility usage can be just as powerful as your presence there. Board, of course, popping it to try to discourage the walk up on the spike there by GVSU, working wonders again. That round, we had seen a little bit of over-aggression by Troy in place. We saw Spectre peeking around the corner when it's not needed, getting took down, evening out that man count 2-2. Though Squiddy Board playing it well after the fact and going to give them their 7th win here on this defense. Garrett here going to be pushed up on the boxes. Squiddy playing lamps. And a much more patient take here by GVSU, saying that Koiva just missing the head of Slapper there. Now a bit discouraged to peek into it, though the wall has gone up, so
Toxin screen down.
potentially an opportunity here to walk up. They're going to opt to go after the wall has come down, though.
Toxins going up.
And a good grenade there by Slapper to kind of get Koiva out of his positioning. Though that Brem ult going to come on the board here,
Spike planted.
but not going to really do much for Troy there. Spike still going down.
Lines with fear.
Man count low for Troy here. Spectre able to pick one back up. Turtle. Squiddy getting another one on Slapper there. Squiddy picking up Ducky as well. Trying to defuse there. Going to be met with Kuromi, though Kuromi going to be traded off there. Spectre, the kill. And chaotic for a moment, Troy was able to hold the fort down. I'll admit, there was so much utility. The Brim ult going off, the smoke screens, the Omen. I was a bit confused as to what was happening looking at Koiva's screen there. I mean, I had no clue. Spectre there coming from A to hold it with Koiva just in time there. And just enough for Troy going in to this 11th round. And so far, part of those 2 rounds post timeout, Troy has showed a lot of consistency here in the way they are playing these rounds here. Going to shoot the drone there through the smoke board is. And Garrett, while playing bats for a moment, going to back off. Squiddy able to get one. Board following up. Now Troy with the 5-3 man count advantage. They can settle in and play calm and have GVSU walk up. And still with a minute 10, this isn't unwinnable by GVSU, but certainly going down that heavy in man count early, as they have a few times here, not going to be beneficial. Board here peeking into the smoke. Squiddy here going to watch that A walk up from boxes. Board, of course, holding it as well. Aware of the spike there. Molly going into the smoke, not going to allow any space to be taken there. And Garrett watching that bats with this operator. So not something that Ducky is going to want to do. And GVSU, 25 seconds here on the board. Very indecisive so far. Garrett able to pick up that kill on Ducky and bats. Again, GVSU not really looking like they want to do anything here. Kind of being very complacent with where they are. Teleporting over to B side just in the case of a rotation. But GVSU with no time at all for a rotation. Board going to get aggressive here on Karomi. Pick up a kill of his own. Slapper going to get one as well. But to no avail here for GVSU. 9-2 score going into the last round here. And again, Troy has done an amazing job able to get those opening picks. And I say picks plural because they don't just get one. Typically with GVSU, the way they're playing allows Troy to pick up more than one in the opener, which gives them a serious man advantage early on so that they can play a calm defense and force GVSU to have to make a pretty big play to have to get on site. And of course, GVSU indecisive in if they want to rotate or not. So that not helping. Squiddy here going to walk up on Turtle. And unaware of Turtle's positioning on the right side of that smoke there, though able to get out just in time with minimal damage done to him. Garrett going to be watching that B heaven with the operator. And playing in his ult Koiva is. Aware of that positioning by GVSU there in heaven is Garrett. Koiva here still going to be playing in this ult on C long. Squiddy, of course, coming and occupying the space with Garrett as well, as is the rest of Troy. Spectre able to pick up that opening retake kill there. Koiva here blinded, coming in from C long. Squiddy able to pick up one of his own. 2 here for him. And going to close out that retake there. And the first half of the game with a score of 10-2 here for Troy. An absolutely stellar defensive half here for Troy. I will say, the retakes were amazing. The initial defense was amazing. The aggression was amazing. That was a very, very good half there for Troy. And again, the fact that they had played it more as if they were attacking from time to time shows that going into this attacking half, they are most certainly going to be able to play it effectively. Looking at our kill here, our kill feed here, 12-6, Squiddy, Koiva 10-4, Spectre 10-5, Board 10-6, Garrett 9-4. Everybody having amazing games. And Garrett going to be the only one bringing a ghost here. As I say that, he sells it. And Squiddy going to be the one bringing the ghost here for Troy. And doing an initial quick take here. Garrett and Squiddy, Koiva as well, walking in to these lamps here. Able to get that opening pick is Garrett on Ducky. Turtle going to be playing that bats position though. So definitely an opportunity to flank Troy. Koiva there, able to get the pick on Toast. Grenade coming in from Slapper. Karomi able to finish off Squiddy there. And again, Troy still unaware of Turtle's positioning. Able to pick off Koiva there. Garrett going to follow up with a pick on him though. Now, 2v3 here for GVSU. Spectre peeking around, getting Karomi off the board. And Slapper all by himself in heaven. And Spectre going to be the one getting that final pick here for this opening attacking round for Troy. And again, as I had expected, really good aggression initially for Troy here to be able to do just that. As we had seen there on that defense, they were playing very aggressive initially, especially in that pistol round. In that pistol round here on the attack, doing the same. And now, as we had seen there on the pistol round, Troy going to have the weapon advantage. So, most certainly expect even more aggression, even more swings. But, all that to be said, Troy is going to continue playing calmly.
There.
As they decide to pile up on this B side here. Going to be met with 2 GVSU players. Squiddy going to take the first steps onto site here for Troy. Smoke up by the Omen, so not going to be able to walk up just yet. But as soon as the smoke goes down, you can expect some quick aggression here by Troy. Garrett playing over here near B short. So no rotation opportunities for GVSU. Garrett looking to want to peek around this corner, anticipating Toast positioning. And able to get that opening pick there on Toast. Slapper responding, going to take out Garrett there for the trade. Board able to take Slapper down. Now Troy full control of B-side here. Squiddy shooting through that smoke, taking out Turtle. Spectre here going to go around this backside. Definitely anticipating Karomi's positioning here. Board going to do the same with him. Board able to pick up that kill on Karomi. Koiva here. Watching this defender side spawn entrance onto site. And now, in this 4v1, not much can be done here for Ducky. Troy going to flee site, knowing that the spike could not be defused. And going to take a 12-2 lead here against GVSU. And so far, again, this attack, Troy has been stellar. And again, the fact that they're continuing to winning these rounds, going into match point here, potentially last round of the game. Troy utilizing everything they have at their disposal, and to a very high degree, a very effective degree even, taking that economy advantage they have, taking the weapon advantage they have, as well as the utility usage that they have shown this game has really given them a clear advantage over GVSU. Squiddy going to walk up, hop on top of boxes here at A short. And with that flash through the smoke, going to walk up onto site here. Karomi able to get the opening pick there on Garrett. Board going to occupy that space. Judge in hand. Ducky playing there with the Bucky though. So able to match the shotgun Board has. Now Board, Spectre looking to rotate quickly. Squiddy going to follow them. Koiva going to stay back. Look for somebody to rotate through this Bats teleporter. And he may catch one here on Ducky. Going to do just that is Koiva. Toast able to pick up a kill on Board. Though Spectre going to follow up with one of his own. And Turtle not able to get that kill here on Spectre, despite the fact that he had caught him off guard. Slapper taking out Koiva. Squiddy. Turtle.
Time to jump.
30 seconds left.
And now to keep GVSU in this slapper in a 1v2 situation. Able to get a pick there on Spectre. Squiddy not able to finish him off. Slapper half HP, no spike for Squiddy.
I got the spike.
10 seconds.
Now having the spike. Slapper going to come from that defender side spawn. Squiddy not anticipating it. And Slapper going to be able to keep GVSU in this game here in that 1v2 situation. Playing it well. Spectre peeking around that corner. Going to be picked first. Squiddy unaware of the rotation by Slapper. And now a 12-13 score here for Troy. And we had seen there that initial take of A-side not working for Troy, so opting for that rotation quickly. And that was met with equal intensity by GVSU, so Troy not able to really find a route to plant that spike. Before you know it, Spectre, Squiddy all by themselves with the spike down. Slapper going to come through for GVSU there with that 1v2 clutch. Now, Troy definitely looking to want to continue what they had started last round, trying to take this A side. Ducky going to continue playing that position with the Bucky in hand. Koiva getting this opening pick here. And Garrett going to be taken out by Ducky there.
Toxin screen down.
A 1v1 there's with the Bucky. Koiva going to peek around this corner off of the Molly here. Ducky able to get another one there. Board though going to get a kill with the Molly. Another one on Karomi. Now the man count in Troy's favor.
Portal closed.
Squiddy Spectre watching the same area, that defender side spawn. Going up into heaven there was Toast. Squiddy not going to watch it. Instead going to play a more passive position here in this Bats, anticipating the rotation. But not going to happen from GVSU now. Going to have to make a move quickly here. Coming through lamps is Turtle. Spectre going to be watching it here. And 11 HP here. Going to be able to get the one tap there on Turtle though. Spectre going to follow up with another one on Toast. First game here of the night going to Troy. Very handily, I might say. The first time we've seen Troy on this bind. And it was an absolutely amazing showing by them. 13-3 here. This is a new screen. We haven't seen this format here by I guess it was in the new update. But either way, looking at this score line here, starting from Garrett 12-7, Koiva 13-7, Spectre 15-6, Bullward 14-7, Squiddy 15-8. An absolutely amazing game by everybody on Troy here. Looking at this econ rating, I'm not going to say anything. 2 defuses here by Squiddy. Also something you have to take into account because Troy had done well on those retakes. So that does kind of put that into perspective here. Garrett with one of his own. Overall, Troy's had an amazing game here. Spectre here trying to use that utility quickly. Mezzy here going to meet Troy quickly. Squiddy in a bit of a gunfight, but not really going to be able to get anything off of it. Though the same can be said for Blinn. Garrett getting our opening pick here. Dashing away, almost caught in a crossfire there, but able to get away just in time with his life. Taking a little bit of damage there. Of course, Squiddy was able to get one as well on site. Koiva picking up a kill of his own, though he is low now. And Troy in well control of this site. Board able there to go ahead and pick up that final kill here for Troy. And a really calm, really easy round here for this first attack by Troy. Which is that I stacked up on that A side. Spectre lining up the utility. So was Board. And again, that is exactly what you want to see out of Troy. That coordination of utility. Because then that's going to allow your sight hits to be much simpler. And Troy here starting on this attack in the pistol round. We know on defense they love to be aggressive on that early pistol round. So the fact that they have gone out and given the opportunity early in a game to be aggressive, being on attack, of course, that is something that is going to be a factor here. Board here alongside Spectre, kind of playing in this mid, seeing if he can get some shots off there. Nothing to be found quite yet, but once the smokes go down, that might change here. Of course, Koiva over here playing his common position near this A side by his lonesome. Spectre backing him up here. Sheriff in hand for him.
Time to jump.
And Squiddy over here by himself on this B side, to be met with only one Blinn player though. So if Squiddy decides to want to walk up into this B side, definitely an opportunity here for him. It looks like that may be what he's doing, or at least thinking about.
Toxins going up.
Koiva here, the same thing here on this A side, able to get that opening pick there on Mezzy. Here in mid, floodgates open up for Troy, 2 kills, Board, Garrett picking up 1 each. And Koiva here by himself on this A side, to be backed up soon though. 2 Blinn players stacked up, shooting over the box, able to get Mudkip, and another one for Koiva. That was sick, jumping over the box with the shorty. I haven't seen that tech before, but that will go ahead and close out that second round for Troy, giving them a 2-0 lead. And that was stellar, I will say, not only by Koiva, but by the rest of the team. We'd seen after that opening pick there by Koiva, Garrett Board able to pick up 2 in the middle, which allowed them to freely transfer over to that A side to back up Koiva, though again, Koiva not needing the backup whatsoever, able to handle those 2 Blinn players on his own. And again, this is exactly what we talked about that first round, Troy being aggressive. This second round, Troy able to be a little more patient and working out for them both times. Squiddy here getting a bit aggressive on this B side. Spectre going to be right behind him here. Koiva, Board, Garrett opting to hit that A side. Going to be met with only 1 Blinn player though. Koiva taking charge here on Mezzy. Mezzy going to be able to pick off Koiva though.
There.
Garrett Board aware of his presence.
I got the spike.
Squiddy here rotating back towards A. Going to find Cold Ramen though. Not able to bit the pick.
Spike down A.
Spectre now going to try to finish off Cold Ramen and going to be able to do it. Get that pick in mid. Now going to rotate back around to this A side. Garrett picking up another one here for Troy to even out this man count. And now Troy has a decision to make. Where do they want to go? Playing in the smoke board. Looking like Troy's going to settle on an A side push. 33 seconds on the clock for them.
30 seconds left.
Garrett not able to pick off Rain there in mid. Smoke, though, going up by Board, allowing Troy to cross over pretty comfortably. Get onto this site where they're only going to find Mudkip playing. Though that Molly isn't going to allow a free walk into sight. Going to take some damage here is Board. Plant going down. Mudkip is well aware. Spectre watching this smoke here. Mudkip going to take out Spectre there. Rain finishing off Board. And this will go ahead and give Blinn their first round win. And what we've seen here early on in the round, Troy losing a few bodies. So early on again, Blinn had that man advantage. Troy faced with a decision at the 30-second mark where they wanted to go, opting for that A side, but in the opening take, Troy losing Garrett to Rain there in mid, which is exactly what set in motion the series of events that would be them losing that round. Having to walk through that Molly, losing a lot of HP was Board. Spectre not winning the gunfight in the smoke there against that Brim. So Troy going to have to reset a little bit, and looking like they're going to do what they had done that first round, go back full side A, which they are only going to find Mezzy here, once again defending it, though close by Ramen, ready to support. Garrett, Squiddy taking charge here. Mezzy tucked behind the boxes, though. Ramen coming to support him here. Not able to get that pick there on Ramen was Garrett. Mezzy picking up 2 there with the judge.
Toxin screen down.
Now that spike sitting there in front of Mezzy. Troy going to have to try to make a playoff of it. Squiddy here going to do just that. Pick up that spike. Now quickly rotate away while these Blinn players are unaware of the positioning. Garrett here able to pick one up in mid. Koiva here going to watch this rotation by Blinn. Try to get another one here for Troy. Now evening out this man count for Troy is Koiva. And not fully committing to the rotation. Now going to come back to this A side here. Mudkip anticipating it. That intuition coming in handy for him. But 3-on-1 on this A side. Mudkip going to have to alert his teammates to the plant.
Poison orb emitted.
And now Koiva going to watch this angle. Peeking around, Mudkip going to take Koiv out. A bit over aggressive by him. And now a 2v3 here.
Fake teleport.
Garrett is low.
Last player standing.
Squiddy now in a 1v3 and going to be taken up by Mezzy there and give Blinn their second win, second round win, I'll say, tying this score up 2-2. I'll say Troy had done well there. Initially, able to get those picks in mid again. Able to, especially that pick in mid, I mean to say, Garrett, which had given Troy that opportunity to kind of freely rotate back to that A side. Koiva, of course, picking up a few of his own to even out that man count. And in that 3v3, I will admit, a bit aggressive there by Koiva, which would lead to Troy being in that 2v3 situation. Garrett so low, not really able to peek. And before you know it, 1v3 situation and the round lost there by Troy. Now setting up two here on this B side and playing definitely pushed up here on this A and watching Koiva through the smoke with that op is Ramen to get that opening pick here for Troy and to pick up another one on Squiddy. Now Troy down by 2 men, going to have to figure out what to do here with just a minute, 15 seconds left. And I say just, but that is plenty of time to make a decision. But one that they can actually execute against 5 players is going to be a tough thing to do. Garrett in a bit of a gunfight there for a moment against Rain, going to teleport back before he is picked off there. Spectre going down as well, 2 Butters.
Last player standing.
Now Board all by himself here in mid, getting flooded. Mudkip popping that stim beacon, going to get the molly off as well. Butters going to finish him off. And what a quick round there for Blinn. Ramen able to get 2 quick opening picks, putting Troy in a severe disadvantage early. And Troy is stuck in mid, getting surrounded. It was a bit bound to happen. Of course, Spectre there playing on that B side by himself, losing the gunfight to Mudkip. Or not losing the gunfight to Mudkip, losing the gunfight to Butters there, I meant to say, on that fade. But regardless, a loss is a loss. Now, running 3 Buckies here is Troy with a Sheriff on Koiva and a Stinger on Spectre. An interesting thing Troy has going here, but I am curious to see exactly how this is going to go for them. Ramen now playing with that op close, but not going to be able to get the shot off. Ramen, though, going to pick Squiddy off, playing pushed up. Garrett now getting aggressive with the dash and the Bucky, able to pick up 1 on Butters, even at this man count now. Mudkip going to pick off Koiva there, though. Spectre playing close in with this Stinger. Mudkip going to pick off Spectre's little Rain, getting bored. And Troy having to hit that site with a smoke there and no real range on their weapons against rifles is not going to be a favorable situation. Now Garrett all by himself in this 1v4. Spike in hand, though, making his way back towards mid, looking for a moment. He was going to go to that A side, but not going to commit to it. Rain here watching this mid. Classic in hand for Garrett. Rain well aware of Garrett's positioning now. Mezzy going to be anticipating it on that A side. Smoke going down by Mudkip, so most certainly can expect a flood here soon by Blinn. Rain going to peek that corner.
30 seconds left.
A classic versus a rifle, not something that you really want to have to do. Mezzy, of course, waiting for Garrett through this smoke. And getting the kill he will to make the score 4-2 in Blinn's favor. A bit of the same as what we just seen there. Squiddy kind of getting picked off. Well, I'll say kind of. Most certainly getting picked off there on that B side by Cold Ramen again. Absolutely on a tear here is Ramen, by the way, with that operator. He is not letting up whatsoever. 3 kills now in the past 2 rounds for him. So that initial pick, Troy down in man count, Garrett able to get in quick, be aggressive with that Bucky, pick another, or get another pick there for himself, even out that man count. But unfortunately, with no range and a severe gun disadvantage, Troy not going to be able to make much happen with it. Now Spectre in hands of Garrett. Playing this mid, Mezzy dangerously close to smoke here. Garrett going to swing around this corner. Try to get Mezzy to bite. Mezzy aware of his positioning due to the sound, but not quite sure where he may be playing. Garrett going to walk away. Mezzy still concerned as to where Garrett may be playing. Going to link up here with Koiva. Spectre here, hitting this A side. Going to come through mid here. Ramen getting hit a little bit there by Squiddy, and now a full sight hit coming on here for Troy. That Brim ult going to go down. Force Troy to kind of play around it, but not a good one.
Toxins going up.
30 seconds left.
Garrett getting picked off by Rain here. Squiddy following up with a pick of his own. 2 now for Squiddy. 3v4 for Troy. Ford teleporting over to get to play in that smoke here. Squiddy Spectre not going to play too aggressive a position. Squiddy peeking around this corner. Smoke going down soon here. Butter's able to pick up 2 though. Ford taking out Ramen there. Mudkip trading him off, and Koiva able to get the last 2. Clutch coming in for him to go ahead and secure this win for Troy, making the score 4-3. Well played by Troy there. Everybody composed and patient, able to rotate over to that A side after 2 had been initially on that B. And especially well done to be able to traverse that mid section safely. Of course, Board using his ult to do that, his teleport to do that. But Squiddy able not only to get some damage on Ramen there, playing that op in mid, but also get away from it to go support the effort on site. And then the take as well was really well done. Utility used perfectly by Koiva here. The Brim ult not really phasing Troy too much. So a well-played round by them. And hoping to tie the score up here is Troy. Garrett playing this mid-section against Mezzy here. Ramen was playing it for but a moment, but going to leave it to just Mezzy here. Squiddy Board wanting to come and play this B-side. Going to be met with Rain in heaven.
Fake teleport.
Garrett going down there in mid by Mezzy. Now Mezzy going to go and play on this A side with the rest of Blinn, or at least watch it from mid. While he also looks back to try to stop that rotation by Board and Squiddy here.
Gun here.
And Ramen going to be able to pick off Koiva there. Still on a tear with that operator. Board here with the Guardian, not able to get that pick on Mezzy. Caught off guard, was he? And now just down to Squiddy and Spectre here on this A side.
Last player standing.
Now Squiddy in a 1v5 situation and going to be taken out there by Mezzy. Overall, well played there by Blinn, I will say. Especially by Mezzy to get that opening pick once again there in mid on Garrett, which had kind of given him free reign to play wherever he wanted to, which would lead to him getting a pick later on Board there in mid. Able to come back around and finish off Spectre there to get 3 kills on the round for him. And Troy, while playing patient, didn't really work for them too well there. Of course, Troy most certainly playing in a gun disadvantage here. After losing a few consecutive rounds, the economy not really in their favor. And looking to want to play aggressive here this round is Troy. Garrett leading the charge here. Has the Bucky in his hands and dumping every ounce of utility they possibly can here is Troy. Going to get on this side as quick as they possibly can here. Squiddy not going to be able to pick up Mudkip, while Mudkip picks up 2 of his own. Mudkip now 3 kills, 2 with that Molly. And a really well-placed Molly there by Mudkip. Garrett playing in that smoke by himself, not able to get that kill on Mezzy. Koiva picking up 1 on Rain, 1v4 situation for him. Able to get another one on Rain, or Cold Ramen, excuse me, and Mudkip going to get that ace. An absolutely stellar round for Mudkip. Go ahead and commemorate him for that one. And I mean, you have to, because it wasn't the kind of round that he had won solely off of his gun skill. He had got 2 Molly kills off of a perfectly placed Molly there. Fully aware of where Troy was going to be hitting on that A side. Responded to it perfectly. And that is what led him to getting that ace. And again, just excellent defense there by Blinn to be able to respond quickly. Of course, most certainly caught off guard by that quick rush there by Troy, but again, not going to phase them necessarily. Going to try something a bit similar here is Troy. Ramen going to pick up that kill on Garrett. Playing close range with that op. Still able to pick it up. Squiddy getting one. Cold Ramen going to trade him off though. Ramen getting another one here on a tear with that shorty. Koiva able to get one back at least, ending Ramen's reign of terror here on Troy. Going to pop this ult here is Koiva. Going to respond with the ult of his own is Mudkip. Now Koiva in a 1v3 situation. In his own ult though, getting one there. Now a 1v2 for him. And this smoke going to go down soon here. Mudkip waiting for Koiva to walk around that corner and going to finish him off. Give Blinn a 7-3 lead here. And once again, I mean, this defense has certainly woken up here for Blinn. It seemed a bit shaky and even not great at all early on in this game. But so far here, these last couple rounds, about these last 4 rounds even, they have done very well to respond to Troy and defend properly. It's not as if they were defending off of a setup. They are doing amazing retakes here, playing through a Viper ult effectively. Able to hold the site there, stop the plant, or stop the, get the defuse off and stop Koiva from stopping the plant is what I meant to say. So overall, really alive here on this defense is Blinn. Now Ramen once again going to be playing super aggressive with that operator and getting yet another one. How many rounds has it been for him that he hasn't picked up a kill with that op? Squiddy going to be picked off there on that B side there, following up with another one. Spectre here able to take down Ramen, picking up that operator. Now in a 1v4 situation. Spike on the complete other side of the map for him. Blinn looking to do a bit of a headhunt here. Not even going to play off of the spike necessarily. Mudkip is, of course. As one player should at least always be there. But the rest of Blinn definitely going to play a little bit pushed up. Not give Spectre an opportunity to take any free space necessarily. Now looking for Mezzi to come play in this mid. Not able to get the shot there off on Mezzi though. Going to be taken down by him. Giving Blinn a 8-3 lead here against Troy. And the consistency here by Blinn is amazing. To be able to defend the same exact way every single round. Same exact efficiency. Always getting that opening pick. Particularly Ramen here. Absolutely on fire. And it's a surprise to me that he's only 9 and 8. But a majority of those kills, of course, coming from that operator. And he does not miss. We have seen that time and time again this game already. He has proven here that once he gets an operator in his hand, if you let the economy get to a point to where he can get that operator in his hand early, it is going to be a nightmare for you, and you're definitely going to have to account for it. We have seen here, as I had said, I'm not sure the last round that he has not got a pick there with that operator. Of course, the round where Mudkip had got the ace would be the last, but regardless of that, he has been absolutely on a tear with that thing. And Troy going to have to respond, figure out some way to come out of this half with this final round for an 8-4 split going into that defense of their own. And I'm sure that's exactly what this timeout is speaking of, to just be able to pull it together at least for this one final attacking round. And looking to do something we haven't quite seen yet, especially with rifles in their hand now, is Troy. Going to be hitting this B side. And we've seen there running back with the Odin is Butters.
Time to jump.
Smart decision by him. I will say he's been getting good value out of that Odin. And being aggressive quickly there was Mezzi. Board going to get that pick there. So not going to pay off for him. Garrett here going to go down there by Ramen. Butters with that Odin wallbang. Taking out Board there. And quickly 2 Troy players down after getting the opening pick there. Koiva going down in mid after getting one of his own though. And through the smoke, Butters is able to pick up that last kill on Spectre and split this half 9-3. Absolutely stellar defense there by Blinn. After those initial rounds where they were losing early, Blinn had completely woken up, figured out Troy, it had seemed, and had not conceded Not even for a moment did it seem Troy really had much of an opportunity. Par a few rounds with the Viper ult. And Squiddy being in that one situation. Other than that, though, I really wouldn't say there was opportunities there for Troy to really win rounds. Many opportunities were shut down early, even seeing there Troy getting that opening pick, but Blinn responding with 2 of their own. So it had not really seemed from there that they even had worried for a moment. Now things could most certainly change here on this corrode, Troy playing this defense. Troy opting to play their classic pistol round defense, getting aggressive, pushing up against Blinn. Squiddy there. Almost catching a glimpse of Rain, but not going to be able to see him quite yet. Garrett going to steadfast this position. Spectre doing much the same. And while Troy had initially pushed up positions, most certainly playing patient here. Waiting for Blinn to make the first move here. Easing over to that B side, where Koiva is playing all by himself. Mezzi going to get the opening pick here on board on that A side. Though that is not where Blinn wants to push. Koiva able to pick off Ramen. And Garrett getting one back in mid. Mezzi taking Squiddy down though.
30 seconds left.
Spectre coming from mid, able to get another one. Koiva playing in a very good position to be able to hold this site here for Troy. Doing just that, coming around, getting that pick on Rain. And Garrett flooding with Spectre, and Koiva able to pick off Mudkip there. And a well-defended round, calm defended round by Troy there. Despite the fact that Blinn had got that opening pick, Troy not really worried about it. And Koiva doing an excellent job to take out Ramen there as he had tried to get on B side quickly, which had given the rest of Troy that opportunity to get on site quickly. Nothing flashy, nothing crazy, just simple defense. And good positioning in that mid, allowing them to rotate quickly. Now Troy going to try to match that round here, but on this defensive, this A side, and Blinn looking to want to play a little quicker here for sure. Squiddy all on his own behind the box is able to get the opening pick on Butters there.
Spike down A.
Or opening pick on Ramen. Next one on Butters. Board following up with one of his own.
Enemy remaining.
And Board going to trade off Squiddy there against Mudkip. All of a sudden, Rain in a 1v4 situation with less than half HP. And that had happened quick there. Garrett wanting to get aggressive here. Didn't quite see Rain, but going to be playing that right side of the entrance. Rain is Board, getting that 3K on that round. Really well job there by Board to be able to trade off Squiddy there. And Squiddy able to get 2 opening picks there simultaneously, which had definitely put that momentum in Troy's favor. It kind of had caused Blinn to panic a little bit, throwing bodies at Squiddy, trying to take him down. And even though Mudkip had, of course, done that, Board swinging around, trading him off. And again, before you knew it, Rain in that 1v4 situation, Troy all but winning the round. And 2 good early defensive rounds here for Troy. Blinn now going heavily towards that B side. Mudkip going to stay in that mid a little bit, and looking like he's going to ease his way over now towards B. Koiva here playing it by himself, but the wall up, not going to let Blinn just freely peek into sight. Now Ramen getting aggressive quick here, getting on site with his dash. Ramen going to pick off Spectre there. Squiddy though peeking in, able to take down one. Koiva following up with a trade of Mezzi. But site control will eventually land in Blinn's favor now. Able to get a pick here from Heaven is Garrett. And Board here playing down below with the Bulldog in hands. Rain is low.
One enemy remaining. Last player.
Garrett there able to get that pick on Rain. Mudkip going to take Board down though. And Mudkip going to get the job done for Blinn. Take down Garrett there. Garrett not able to hit his shots. Not able to hit the head, I'll better say. Mudkip clutching that round. for Blinn, and I'm sure they're happy about that one. Well defended there by Mudkip and Rain, I will say. Despite the fact that Rain had gone down early, Mudkip responded, able to pick off board in just a small amount of time or small frame that he had before Garrett could trade him off freely. So again, really well played there by him. Unfortunate for Troy, of course, that round going good for them up until that. Board here going to be playing atop the boxes here at A side entrance. And Garrett going to be playing here in mid alongside Spectre here. This wall up for them. And as it goes down, Ramen going to take some space here. Garrett going to get that opening pick. Board following up with one of his own here. Spectre and Garrett going to be playing patiently now here in this mid. Getting those 2 opening picks. Not going to try to throw it away, of course, by getting overly aggressive here with their peaks. Just going to let Blinn walk up. Mudkip here going to be taking charge. Spectre going to pick up one here. Mudkip trading him off. Garrett able to get out of that little cubby, and Garrett coming around that corner, getting 2 quickly. They weren't anticipating that one. Mudkip and Butters caught completely off guard there by Garrett, and that is something I will say happens quite a bit. Garrett will completely catch you off guard there with that dash, that aggressive dash, better said. That is his staple, that is his trademark, and using it there to end that round quickly, cutting down that lead a little bit. 10-6 here. Blinn. Ward going to replicate the position he had played, just not atop the boxes now. Garrett going to get aggressive now with this outlaw, much as Ramen had been doing with the operator. And very quiet here. Garrett able to get the opening pick, though, as I say that. Now going to back up a little bit, play a little more passively. Koiva going to be defending this B side by himself. Getting aggressive there quickly, though. Taking a defensive position here is Koiva. Ramen not committing to the dash. Coming back, getting his information, though. Now that A side left completely open, but no spike to be found there. So despite the fact Mezzy and Mudkip are going to find it essentially free there, not going to do them many favors. Spectre and Koiva here playing this B side. And enough to deter away Blinn. Now going to have to rotate towards that A side. Ford still playing in a position where he can fall back onto site. Spectre following up, coming through mid. Going to get one there. Squiddy walking through the smoke. Board able to get 2 of his own here. Now Mudkip making his way all by himself here to this A side. Board able to get the kill after a good few shots. 81 HP, going to finish it off, and another 3K here for Board. Him having a good game so far. 13 and 12, 15 and 11, 13 and 11 for Koiva and Garrett respectively. And Troy definitely figuring out this defense bit by bit. We have seen here, especially these past few rounds, Troy able to get those opening picks and then play off of it very calmly. They're certainly showing their ability to be patient. We'd seen there that last round. Garrett able to get that opening pick with the outlaw and had played it very defensively after that. Even Koiva not getting over aggressive on Ramen after his dash. Taking this cover back here towards Heaven on this B side.
Toxin screen down.
Who's next?
Now Blinn going to quickly flood this B side here. Koiva the only one to defend it. Throw this smoke in Heaven. And 2 teleportations coming on the board here for Troy. Bludger's going to take Squiddy out. Board able to get 1 before he gets traded off quickly there. Garrett here flowed, taken out by Rain as well. Koiva getting another one. Spectre now picking up another one of his own and going to finish off Rain there. And well defended by Troy to respond quickly. after a sight hit like that, especially Board and Squiddy, able to get there as fast as possible using those ults perfectly. You love to see that about Troy, that utility usage actually getting value. Koiva, of course, holding that side initially excellently, playing his position properly. But really what had given Troy that opportunity was, of course, Squid and Board coming there from that backside, coming from elbow, catching Blinn off guard, and Spectre and Garrett able to hit it from this mid and sweep it up. Great defense there by Troy.
Going up.
Now going to try to replicate that aggression here is Blinn. Same setup here for Troy. Koiva playing this elbow now, though not quite into heaven. Ramen getting aggressive early. Now that Bucky in hand, if he walks through this smoke, certainly could be bad news for Koiva.
Spike planted.
Able to get the opening pick here. Koiva not able to hit his shots there on Butters, though. Mezzi going to trade Koiva off there. Coming from mid here, Garrett and Spectre. Board following up behind them. Squiddy here playing in this elbow, getting flashed and swung there by Mezzi. Board going to be dropping a smoke here soon for this retake. 3v4 situation here for Troy. Mezzi playing that elbow. Spectre going to hit a nice shot there.
Last player standing.
Now all of a sudden Garrett all by himself. Shorty in hand. Mudkip going to pick up his third kill of the round. And take this lead to 11-8. For a time there, it looked like Troy had it all under control. Coming from that mid, 3 players. Spectre hitting a nice shot there. Playing an elbow, but unfortunately not going to be enough there for Troy. As Ramen playing where he was, able to pick off Spectre, following up with one of Board. And Garrett all of a sudden left all alone with just a shorty in his hands. So Troy there finally showing their defense is not unbreachable. And of course, in that, showing a little bit of life was Blinn. Now Koiva going to have to play once again this B-side by himself, and Troy not really accounting for it after losing it that last round, not putting any more bodies here.
Spike planted.
Ramen going to be picked off by Squiddy here. Koiva going to follow up with one of his own. Squiddy a third there for Troy. Butters here playing in that shack
One enemy
with the operator, Koiva. Rain, they're able to get another one here. Board, though, finally trading off Rain. Rain, for a moment there, looked like he was going to be the one-man army Blinn needed.
Wasn't worried for a second.
3 kills in that round for him. But, of course, Board able to get that pick. Garrett, the defuse. And well played by Troy there. Once again, stopping that offense, that aggression, dead in its tracks. And that's what you want to see more of here by Troy, the adaptability. And, of course, that's not to say that every round is going to be one that is winnable, even if you play it perfectly. But still, Troy showing consistency here in the way they are playing, the way they are setting up and defending. Blinn, though, going to match that consistency. Once again, looking like they may want to hit this B-side once more. Though Spectre will take up a station here, playing pushed up, trying to meet Blinn. Certainly with the information that Blinn is going to be hitting this site quick. Koiva able to get the opening pick here. Spectre still playing behind this shack. Not able to get one there, but not dead yet. Though it almost feels inevitable. Spectre here playing in a very difficult situation. Board, though, going to back him up. Garrett able to get one with that operator. Now Troy enveloping the site here. Squiddy able to get one on Ramen. Garrett picking up one on Mudkip here. And Board following up with a kill on Butters. Troy defending it excellently, flooding the site properly. And most certainly, excellent job by both Koiva and Spectre to keep their lives, play their lives, with all Spectre here playing behind this shack, not being too defensive. Or not too offensive, I mean to say. Playing very much defensively. Waiting for his teammates to arrive so that they can hit that site, retake properly. And again, perfectly executed by Troy. Timeout going to come on the board here for Blinn, of course, makes sense. Part of that one round, the defense most certainly not showing, or the offense most certainly not showing much life here for Blinn. Troy matching. And this defense has been very lively for Troy. And again, I think above all else, the consistency has really been something that Blinn has not been anticipating. Of course, they are consistently hitting that B side here, going on the 4th round that they had done just now in a row, hitting that B side. Koiva, Spectre both playing it. And of course, up until last round, Spectre had been playing a bit of that mid, a little closer towards A, and now, of course, playing that B side, which had worked stellarly for Troy, flawlessly, I may even say, for them, not losing a body. And then that 3-man stack on A, just in the scenario that Blinn chooses to go that way. And looking on the map here, just by the pings, looking like they're going to have somebody watching that mid, hit that A side rotation coming from mid, but still stacking up a majority players towards that B side. Still, that doesn't mean they are going to go B immediately. Mudkip here playing right on the cusp of the wall here. Butters doing the same. Mezzy as well. And Squiddy going to be playing his life there in that mid. Spectre getting a few shots off here into that mid through the smoke. Not going to be able to get any damage off of it though. Now Blinn most certainly concentrated through that B side, but going to have the opportunity to take that B rotation too, or that B mid rotation, which this is the first time we've seen them hitting the site from multiple angles here. Though Board able to get that opening pick there. Butters picking up one of his own on Spectre. Koiva getting one. Squiddy as well, though Squiddy will be traded off quickly here. Board playing this mid, seeing if he can find a Blinn player doing the same. Not going to be the case though. Koiva here playing this elbow. Rain watching it. Mezzy the same. Spike down. 3 ults on the board for Troy, though I don't anticipate any of them to be used here in this situation. Garrett coming from the entrance, able to get one on Rain. Mezzy able to pick a kill up on board though. Koiva though going to trade him off quickly. Garrett defusing, tying this score up at 11-11. Koiva here going to be the man to defuse here for Troy. And overall, once again, well defended despite the fact that the site was being hit from multiple separate angles by Blinn. Troy still holding true to their defensive nature for that B side. Board, of course, coming from that mid late after Blinn had made their push through there, able to get a pick of his own. Garrett catching Rain off guard from that main B side entrance. And overall, an excellent defense once more for Troy. Certainly have the momentum train in their favor, rolling through here. Major change going to have to come from Blinn, now fully pushing this A side. Garrett going to be playing it aggressive here with that op. Not able to get that opening pick though. Now going to have to push himself back quickly. Squiddy there, of course, was playing it a bit aggressive as well. Now going to take up a new position with this operator is Garrett. Looking through the smoke, nobody biting quite yet. Potentially even wanting to try a fake rotation here is Blinn, as they haven't committed fully, though, coming towards this midsection. They will find only Spectre playing here. Board, though, holding an angle onto it. So definitely a dangerous situation for Blinn here to have to walk through this area. Spectre playing tucked. Ramen getting aggressive there with the dash, trying to take the space. Board able to get that opening pick there on Butters. Mezzy, though, going to trade him off there. Spectre picking up another one. Traded again by Mezzy. Now mid control in Blinn's hands, though. Not going to be able to hold on to it for long as Cold Ramen goes down there.
30 seconds left.
Mudkip Squiddy now planning on this B side. 3 Troy players collapsing onto this site. Mudkip playing near that main entrance. And Squiddy, or not Squiddy, Mezzy going to be coming there, peeking around, taking out Spectre there, or Koiva there. Garrett able to pick up another one, pulling out the Sheriff there. Odd situation for him. 1v1 situation for Squiddy. Mudkip half HP. Somebody going to have to get the pick here soon. And the spike most certainly going to go off by this point here for Blinn. In a moment there, a 3v2 situation.
Match point.
Very winnable for Troy. But that pick by Mezzi on Koiva in mid had certainly shut it down just that bit more. And of course, Garrett also getting a pick of his own. Or getting picked off. And Blinn holding strong there. Mudkip Mezzi. Excellent hold. And I'm sitting here trying to think here. This game could go absolutely either way. The way we have seen it played. We saw that initial take there by Blinn on that A side had worked for them initially. Able to not be picked off. I would say that was definitely something that is in their favor. Is that they had not got that opening pick on them by Garrett. Regardless of that, though, what really worked for them was the rotation through mid. Definitely throwing Troy off their trail a bit. And despite the fact that it was well known that they were going to be planning that B side, Troy not able to come and take it. And 4 pings here on this A side, looking like Blinn going to try something here. Potentially going to see Garrett playing that same position he was with the operator, or doing the same. And Squiddy going to be playing shaded towards A, and looking like he will be committing to this A side hold. Garrett not going to play as aggressive of a position here. Coming more towards mid here. Not going to find any Blinn players, though, immediately. Getting a little bit of damage there on Ramen. Was bored shooting through the smoke. And now getting quickly aggressive there was Ramen. Getting some information here for Blinn. Troy scattered a bit. We see Spectre there playing towards that defender spawn.
Here.
Squiddy here going, or at least was looking to flash through the hole there. Not going to be committing to it quite yet. And though the initial take was quick, the initial aggression was there by Ramen. A bit quiet, a bit patient here. Kind of waiting to see what Blinn is going to do. Troy is. Garrett here playing over towards this connector. Squiddy and Board holding their same positions.
Be right back.
Now Garrett able to come and get one. Mezzi going to trade him off. Mudkip peeking around. Getting picked off by Board there. Ramen trading him as well.
Portal closed.
Squiddy now all on his own here on this side. Able to pick up one.
Spike down A.
2v2 situation.
Player standing.
Squiddy in a 1v2 to keep Troy in it.
Spike planted.
Able to kill, or well, what I had thought was going to be a kill on the planter, but that not going to be the case there for Troy. Spectre going down there and losing the last game of the Swiss season. 13-11 is Troy against Blinn. An absolute bloodbath here by both sides. I'd say playing really good both sides, though I will also mention the fact that there were a few rounds Troy should have been able to bring back there. Despite that, Troy putting up a good fight. Blinn just that bit better here tonight. 25-12. Mudkip, Mezzi 21-17. Koiva 22-15. Garrett 19-15. Board 20-17. It's not often you see a stat line between 3 players on a team like this, and the loss comes to you, though it is a close one here, 13-11. So very, very unfortunate here for Troy tonight to be able